I found a dream that I can speak to. I found a dream that I can speak to. I found a dream that I can speak to. I found a dream that.
Hello, welcome again, dear friends, to another issue of Angelic World. She's
Yes.
Laura, my name is Thomas.
How are you doing? Thank you for watching us. Thank you for joining us. We send our blessings to all of you, and we hope that you will enjoy this program. It's practical. Today it's a practical program, and it's a continuation of last program, which was Virtues, part
Yes.
1. Now it's Virtues second.
Second part.
Yes. How are you doing today? Here in Mexico, we are having now rain. So now we are like more comfortable because last weeks we had really a very hard time. We had a lot of sun. It was very hot and warm. Now it's less warm, so it's better now. So we hope you are enjoying your the weather where you are living. If you write to us or send us a message, please do so and tell us where you are and how the weather is over there.
Yes, you can also hit the like button, give us a comment, or send us your questions and proposals.
Yes, for the topics you want to talk about, or you want us to talk about. So today we are welcoming all the people who are watching us for the first time. Thank you. We hope you like our program. We are here in Mexico City, and we are sending this transmission to all the world in English. It's our first trials that we are trying to send this message to everybody. What we do is we channel these archangels, the 7 archangels, and we've been doing this for many years, for like 6 years. And we have a therapy. We give this therapy to people here in presence while they are with us in our little space. It is very close by this TV station. And we also give this therapy. It's the light therapy, and we give it to people who live in other parts of the world, in other parts of Mexico, our country, and it's been very useful. What we do is we help people with their energy. We help them change the quality or the intensity of the energy. We help them so that people can feel their life in a different way. The goal of our life is to be happy. The goal of our life is to live the virtues, which is today's topic. But the virtues are at the end energy. So this energy, what we do is we help people with their low energy, and we change this energy to a higher energy. And this is very helpful for people because with this kind or with this quality of energy, they can find abundance in their life. They can find health and also love. So these are 3 goals that we are looking for, and in this case our therapy helps people to find these changes in their lives. And at the end, we all want this. We all want to be in health and to be happy and to be with our love, partners, or the love of God, or the love for ourselves. So it is very important that everybody know about this. So that's why we have these programs. We hope you enjoy today's program. And well, Tom, we are talking about, in these episodes, we're talking about virtues.
That's
right?
correct. Virtues, that's a very good topic. Virtues is an habit. You can say the human doesn't born virtues. Virtue is acquired through practice, through understanding, through education. Virtue becomes a habit. and you have the choice to select if you are on a virtue of correct willing actions or incorrect actions. Therefore, virtue, its contrary part is vice. Vices are the counterpart of virtues. It's let's say it's a natural way of living, because nobody is born virtuous. Virtue is acquired through a way of living, a style, a lifestyle, a philosophy, or path that you pursue every day in order to gain wellness. Wellness focus in the good willing, in the good will of your community, your family, your children, your spouse, your partners, your work. You can find virtuous ways all over, always working for yourself and for others, for the community.
When we, for example, when we work or practice virtues in our life, what we do is we are working with energy. Virtues are energy. So energy is this special energy of the virtues, is the one that is going to help us to level up our energy, so that we can sense or we can feel this kind of energy. And if we feel the energy, it's going to help us a lot, because this energy is going to be very practical in our life. So our life is energy. Everything is energy. We have talked about this. Energy is everywhere. So one of the purposes of our life is to feel this light of the virtues. Why? Because in that way we are going to fill all our inner self with a lot of light, and that is very important for our path, so we can reach this wellness that Tom is talking about.
Yes, truly, being very honest. You need to be honest within you and sincere. In life, there is a natural law. There is a common sense of wellness in all living species. Every living species knows what is correct and what is not correct by instinctive knowledge. This is regarded to ancient way of knowledge. Now, let's say there is no other way, there is no other proper and correct way to act as a living form in this planet, in this universe, as a correct living being. Always looking for improving yourself, excelling yourself. You need to know that you choose the path of good virtues, of goodwill deeds, of goodwill actions, or you can choose the path of vice, the vicious actions of life, and then you can have that option, but then again you will need to pay the consequences for that.
So you are saying that in this case we choose, we use our free will, but that means that we are not born with virtues, right?
Yes, that's correct. We are not born, let's say, you look at a children doesn't have the reference of what is good or what is evil or what is wrong or what is bad. Towards going to the life experience in every knowledge that he acquires through education, through self-experimentation, this person, this being begins to know what is correct and what is wrong. And then you make the choices, what is better for you, what is better for others, what is maybe hazardous for some people. And then you learn how to, let's say, inflict pain in others or inflict wellness in others. You transmit this energy. So it's all, again, compound work of energy within yourself. Focus on the emotions and the feelings, and then the good emotions that you transmit to other people and your community, and then again to family, friends, work, partners, and family, and spouse, and all that. Yes.
So we are, in this way, what we are saying is that when we pick the virtues and we select, for example, one virtue to practice every day, then what we're going to do while practicing is that we are going to level up our the intensity of the energy. It is very important, and we're not talking really about the physical body. We are talking about the energetic body. Why? Because it is together. I mean, we are not just this physical body. We have a mind, we have feelings, and all this is part of this energetic body. So we have to nurture our energetic body with the correct energies. In this case, virtues is an excuse, let's say, for us to feel our life in a different way. It is better to, for example, choose the virtue of compassion. For example, if we choose compassion as a virtue to practice in a day or in the week or during a month, then we will see the result of having compassion. We will feel better. When we have compassion towards somebody else, we understand, let's say, what the other person is going through. Maybe he's having problems, and that's why he or she is with this explosion of emotions, for example, and we say, okay, I have to have compassion toward this person because that person is suffering or she is going through a very hard time. No, so compassion, it is going to help us behave better. And also at the same time, we are going to level up our energy. And that kind of energy is the one that has the correct frequency or vibration that we need to have in our inner world.
Yes, once again, we need to rephrase. If you are working or beginning to work with the light, with the energy within you, in order to become well with the environment, with life, with others, but most important with yourself. Channeling light work is focus on angels or archangels, is becoming aware of your feelings, of your thoughts, and the general energy of your energetic field. So how we work the emotions, let's say, for example, talking about my own experience. I used to be a very angry boy years ago. Everything that I received as an information from work, from parents, from family, I became very angry. And then I realized one day, why do I need to be angry all the time? It is useless for me. It is a very, very unstable feeling of incommodity. It's not giving me something productive, something transcendent. So I became aware and start to realize that I need to relax more towards life and towards myself firstly. So I began to become more aware of my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions, and most important, my words. I used to give, let's say, harsh words to people, or orders or commands, being as a father, being as a partner. And then I realized how much pain I inflicted to others. And then I became more aware when I started to become distant with friends because they didn't like my martial ways of doing things in work, in life, in family. And so I realized, if I keep doing this, I will become alone. I will go to the portal of loneliness, and I don't want to do that. So what I did, I became to work within myself, relaxing, and become more attentive in every action, every thought, every feeling. And then I started to become more relaxed with meditation techniques and all that. But the most important thing was that I became aware that I need to make a change. Most of all of us give let's say, power to other people in order to let the other people do the hard work for us. We go to the psychiatrist, we go to the psychologist, we go to the doctor, we go to the therapist, to the massages. We give all our power to others, to third party, let's say, brokers. And then we hope that they fix our lives. But no, the real truth is that you have to make your own work. You have to start to become more aware. And then with the angels, you have the virtues. When you start to look and focusing in the good wellness, what is virtues, they become a habit for you. You must feed this habit every day. Now and then you realize that you need to become more patient, more compassion. Compassion is very important, not pity, not pitiful towards others, but compassive means to understand others' situation, others' conflict, others' problem, and then realizing that you can probably help these people. Being compassive, that is giving you your attention, listening to them, maybe helping in some way that they need to fix something, or they need to, when you give a push to somebody. And this can be your children also, because your children are your blossoms, your flowers, and you need to nurture them. But then I realized that I used to be angry with my children, be, let's say, possessive, criticistic about them, very sometimes angry, and then make speeches with them. And then I realized that doesn't make real change on them until you become more loving and more, let's say, more embracing, understanding with compassion acts their own way of living. They need to understand their own path, being free. And this is another virtue. Free liberty is another virtue that you need to work with. And then again, looking always to find the truth within yourself and applying into your own life, right?
It is very important that, you are talking about children. When we have children, we have to be very careful. We have to find a way to communicate with our children. It is not easy, but it is very necessary. If we do not communicate in the correct way with our children, then they are going to start. They are not going to like, for example, talking to us, or they are going to stop sharing their ideas, or they will stop. Sharing their love, their feelings with ourselves. So it is very important that we have a good communication. We are going to talk about this topic in a more deeper way in
future programs.
Yes, in future programs, because it is very complex to do that. But this is like a general idea that we are sharing with you, is try to avoid beating your children or saying bad words to them. We have to be very careful to what we say to them, to what we communicate to them. We have to remember virtues. That's why we need them. For example, if we focus ourselves in the virtue of compassion, or in the virtue of love, or in the virtue of responsibility, then we are going to remember that we have the responsibility of their lives as they are little, and we have to find ways to communicate with them, to express what we want them to learn or to do in the nice ways. We don't have to be primitive. We don't have to beat our children just because we tell them, I told you not to do that. That's not good, because that is going to be very aggressive to them. Nowadays, we have a lot of people that, or maybe a lot of people who go to have a therapy with a psychology, or I mean, everybody's going to a psychologist right nowadays because they have a lot of feelings to what they lived in the past. So we have to plant, let's say, good seeds in our children, plant love, plant understanding, and sometimes maybe you don't know the answer to something or something that is happening with your children, and that's okay. But look for good answers, look, investigate, read, or listen to our programs. We have many here in Mundo Holístico, or maybe you can look for our Facebook page, which is Angelic World. It is written together, and you can look for our programs and look for this kind of information. Remember that the purpose of our life is to uplift our lives and also to uplift the lives of the people who live and who who share the life with us. So it is very important that we know how to react in a way. We have to learn not to react, but to propose and to see, okay, if this is not working, well, I can use, for example, with creativity, which creativity, by the way, is a virtue. I can find new ways to share. I can find new ways to understand my spouse, to understand my boss, to understand my colleagues at work, for example. So we have to look always to uplift ourselves, our lives, and also to uplift others' lives.
Exactly. Remember, always working with the light and with the archangels and angels is uplifting your way of thinking, becoming more ascended, becoming your higher best self, the best version of yourself. And this is a work, this is a job that we have to do every day. Every day, the more conscious that you become, the more virtue a man you want to be, you need to work to do that. You don't born virtuous. You don't born with all these good wellness ways of acting or confronting or interacting with life. You need to seed them in your own self in order to, like a flower, you put your own seed and then you nurture it every day. A person is virtue through only the real truth. You need to find pure real truth in every act that you make. Then you become a free being. You become let's say one with freedom. Virtues give you freedom. Vices give you slavery. This is very important because then there is a balance of Archangel Michael, and then you need every day to balance yourself and be in the middle. Be in the middle, evaluating, sizing what is correct and what is wrong. So become virtue, and virtue makes you free. Otherwise, you let's say you become vice and involved in the vicious acts of life, then you lose your own virtues and become a slave of these virtues. Let me give you some examples. When a person smokes, this person becomes a slave or has a contract of slavery with the spirit of tobacco. Okay, when a person drinks too much alcohol, this person doesn't have the notion to be aware which is better, alcohol or not. So you don't have proper diligence on what is good in the alcohol world. So this is also a spirit. That is the reason they call it liquor and spirits. These are spirits that you become engaged to and make you a slave of those. Avoid that. Another one very good is drug addiction, drugs dependency, even if it's medicines or pharma industry related products, then you also become a slave of these substances, all these enervants that you really don't need. What you need to do is clean yourself and be very willing and have a strength of temperance, of inner strength in order to get rid of all these accessories in life that you don't need to become a virtuous person. What you need is to focus yourself in your own mind and start to cleaning emotions and feelings and be channeling the energy within you. The energy is the heat that you feel when the sun bathes you in the beach or in your home. This is all energy. So you need to become concentrated and aware on that. That is the first step. Second step is breathing. You breathe air. You need to expand your lungs. You need to expand your knowledge. Once you expand your lungs, you oxygenate your blood torrent. And then the ions of the blood go to the brain. And then you feel, wow, I'm expansive. I'm a great self-being. I'm connected to God. Why you connect to God? Because you need to love, to raise the inner feeling of love inside yourself. And this is a start change. Once you do that, you start to becoming aware of the environment. What is surrounding me? You need to be lucid and aware of what you're doing. This is step by step, but the first things you need to do is make a decision. You need to work in the balance of virtue, or you will stay in the vice game. So this is your decision. The call, the convocation, this is a calling. The angels call you to work with virtues, with light, and with energy.
Virtues are high energy. And angels, for example, are high energy too. So our goal in life is to go up, never go down. It's going up so that we can connect with this energy. And if we live in this kind of energy, then our life is going to also have this kind of energy. It's like a law of attraction. Like the beautiful things will attract beautiful things to themselves. So that's why we need to have this beautiful energy or this light in ourselves to attract these kind of maybe moments, maybe persons, maybe situations, maybe a job, maybe a partner, maybe children, maybe a dog, whatever. I mean, but it is better to be then up, very, very high above, so that we can attract to our lives these situations, persons, emotions, etc.
Yes, it is considered in the ancient scriptures when you are looking to become prosperous and abundant and then proactive, you need to focus yourself in the best things of life. And one of the best things of life is yourself. Imagine just that. You're a gift from God. I mean, every life that comes to exist in this world, in this planet, is a gifted person. You have talents, you have likes, you have dislikes. All this compound, all this baggage makes yourself unique and exclusive. So express yourself within the light, the wellness, the virtues. Work within you. Work with all your good things, all the things that make you passionate, that makes you loving, that makes you express expansion. This is the way.
And avoid to buy pleasure.
Yes,
so that's
very
why
important.
Tom was talking about all these vices. Well, yes, if we are going to buy a pleasure like happiness or like the pleasure itself, no, we have to be very careful, because what we are doing if we do that is that we are buying a specific moment of happiness with money. And that is not really what we want. It is going to be a momentaneous experience, and then what?
Exactly.
No, then you need more and more and more, and that's why people just get in these vices experiences and they cannot get out. Why? Because they need more. Why? Because they are not using their character, a strong character, to say, no, I have my free will and I'm going to get to happiness, but I have to do the job. I have to do the hard job, let's say. No, I have to do the hard part. Yes, it is not easy. We're not talking about an easy concept. We know that it is difficult. We have to also go through these experiences of using the virtues in our lives. So we know it is very hard, but it is not impossible. It is not impossible. We have the force inside ourselves. In fact, force, strength. It is. They are also virtues. So that's why we have to connect with that kind of energy in order for us to uplift ourselves. So avoid buying pleasures. I'm sorry if we are disturbing some of you, but it is very important, really, not to buy. You don't need to spend your money in those kind of experiences. Just spend your money in things that are going to help you to be happy, but for a longer time, let's say.
Yes, the call is for all of us, including ourselves,
Yes.
To become more aware, more conscious. Life is a gift, and it's a prize. I mean, every day we need to nurture that in order to become happy. This is the goal of life. Every one of us has to make the decision: I want to be happy or I want to be sad and miserable. So these are choices all the time. This is not something that we are insisting to you and making you a rule. No, this is information offered to you in order that you make choices and you make decisions, and then you take action.
Mm-hmm.
Action working in the most higher self, right? So talking again about the buying of pleasure, it is good to have money, it is good to be prosperous and abundant, but then invest your money properly, wisely, and with intelligence. Do not do not pursue ephemeral or not long-lasting pleasures like, tobacco, drugs, alcohol. Be in balance. It doesn't mean that we are not telling you don't drink. You can have a beer, you can have wine, have good chat with people, but don't lose yourself in these vices, because the dependency of the codependency in these substances has a contract. When you purchase these substances, you sign a contract, but you don't see it, but you sign a contract that say the consequence of this is alcoholism. The consequence of tabacism is your lungs and your health. The consequence of drug, mostly all of this, is your health. Mm-hmm. Then you harass your health, and then what you will become later on, mm-hmm. just a sack of bones, of muscles, and then of blood and
substances.
Wasting substances. Life is more than that. So the invitation: work with the light and the energy of your own intelligence. When you become in the higher conscious of love, love is everything. Love changes everything. There is the Greek philosopher Plato. He talked about 4 cardinal virtues, which is the first one, temperance. That is self-control, moderation. Second is strength. You need to have the inner strength to confront situations in order to make proper actions. The other one is, let's see, I remember, prudence. Prudence is becoming aware of the needs of yourself and others. And finally, justice. You give due to everyone in the proper way, what he deserves in a proper balanced way, not less, no more, and also within yourself. So these are the 4 virtues, the cardinal virtues of Plato, the Greek philosopher, which can be a reference for all of us all together.
Yes, we can have a plan of action. We can write down, for example, a plan of action toward a specific area of our lives. So, for example, if we are dealing with somebody, we need to have or to practice specific virtues. Write them down. If in another part of your life, if you need to have to apply, let's say, some virtues, write the virtues that you have to apply. In each situation, you will have to apply a different virtue. Look for them in internet. You will find a list of virtues so that you can know what are the virtues that you are going to use with a specific situation or with a specific person or with you. Sometimes we need to have this plan for ourselves. So it is very important that we don't lose the track of the way that we want to have in this life. Mm-hmm. Remember that life is a gift, as Tom has mentioned, but it is not easy to get a body, to have a life, to have this lifetime, let's say. It is really very hard to have a life, a body. We need a lot of merits to have the action of energy and many things that are going to happen in order for us to have a body, a life. So we don't have to waste it. We have to value our life. Value is also a virtue, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And finally, I think the real matter, the real goal of this angelic life, or living in the light and the energy in the highest emanation or energy of the highest, purest quality, is just to become very happy. We all need to be very happy. We all pursue to become very happy with ourselves and with the persons that surround us or the persons that we live among. So it is very important that you value that this inner happiness gives you peace, gives you harmony. And this is what we need to pursue, to work for every day of our life, mm-hmm. 24 hours by 24 hours mm-hmm. for the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. And this is very common focus. You become a focused exercise of experimentation with the highest virtues, all the time in the balance, what is correct and what is not correct. And in the middle, you know by instinctive intelligence, instinctive knowledge, what is the proper and correct ways to act mm-hmm. at all times. This is how you connect with the energy, the highest self-being, when you know what is correct to do and what is not correct to do. Why? Because it will harm myself and I will harm others. Mm-hmm. So think about not doing the things that you don't want others to do to you.
Exactly.
This is a very important
it's a wise,
natural law.
Yes, that is a very wise law. That's why we can use that law, for example, in our daily lives when we have to connect with other people and share moments and all these things that we do every day. That is something very important, mm-hmm. to love them and to not do what we don't want them to do to us. No? So that's something that we have to keep in mind. Also, in that way, we can apply that to the relationship that we have to our children. You know? We don't want them to suffer what we don't really want for us to experience. So we need really to experience, for example, he was saying about happiness. Archangel Raphael is the one that holds this light. So we can close our eyes, we can see this green light of Raphael, and we can, let's say, feel our inner self with this light and see and feel happiness. No, we can maybe take something, a moment, yes, an idea of happiness. No, what is it that makes you happy? Maybe it's just looking at nature or looking at your children while they are laughing or enjoying their play time, or maybe looking at your little dog, or maybe remembering about your mom, remembering about your dad, special moments that you have. Bring them to you and feel that happiness. feel also maybe the happiness of having a contact or a connection with God or with the angels, with archangels. Fill your life with this vibration. Feel it. See that happiness is there within you, and that you can share that happiness with the rest of the people who you are working with or dealing with every day.
Mm-hmm. Experiment, exercise, focus yourself. Let's see, for example, the green wood behind me. When you walk in the woods, all surrounded by green, green is the light energy of Raphael. Mm-hmm. It is healing energy. Mm-hmm. It is joyful energy, and this energy makes you peaceful within yourself. So work with it, experiment. Dress green. I mean, dress green, wear green.
We should have dressed green today.
Think green. Green is beautiful. Green is life. Yeah. Green is a higher vibration color. And this is related to the light ray of green with the Archangel Raphael. Work with that for this week. Mm-hmm. And then enhance it, nurture it nutritiously yourself within green all the time for as long as you like. And then we will talk more about in the future for these rays of light.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much for joining us. We are almost finishing our transmission today. We hope you are liking our programs. Write down whatever ideas, ideas that you think that might help you right now, that or maybe you want to share this knowledge with other people. You can maybe share this program with your family or with your children,
your loved ones.
Yes, exactly. So it is important to have a guide. So the purpose of this Angelic World program is to give you this guide, this experience. We have had the experience of working with light and with energy for 34 years. So we've been working very hard. Our lives is, let's say that our lives are full of these emotions, of these high energies. So really it is our experience that we are sharing with you, also the connection that we have with the archangels. And that is why we have these programs. So take advantage of them. Don't miss one, and try to re-listen to other or the past programs that we have transmitted, because they have a lot of knowledge. So write down, remember, and make a plan for this week. Work with a virtue, and you will see the difference in your life. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks to you, Laura. Thanks to you all. With great respect and with great love. Thank you. Have a great time. Have a great week.
Yes.
And we will see you next week. Another program.
Yes, and thank you also to Daniel, our producer. Thank you to Mundo Holístico, who are working with us these Mondays at 1 p.m. Mexico's time. So we'll see you next Monday. So have a great time.
Have a great time and take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.